Today's topic: should the focus of prisons be punishment? Short answer: no. Close the video. All right. Let me elaborate. We don't do short answers over here, so check it. If the main focus is punishment, then you're already undermining what prison was built for originally, or at the very least, one of the main reasons it was built for. The focus should not always be, but for the most part, it should still be rehab. Let's rehabilitate these humans, even if the main plan is not to send them back into the real world. Let me also elaborate on that. Gotta have an E-lab. The plan being his or her sentencing. Maybe the plan or the sentence, quote unquote, maybe 5 to 10 years, maybe only 3 years, or maybe the sentence is life in prison. So, what I meant by that last statement is, if they have life in prison, let's at least try to rehabilitate them, even if it fails. Sure, some of them are here for more brutal offenses, crimes, and possibly did the unthinkable to earn themselves that prison sentence for having, that stray street dog behavior. But that doesn't mean you don't try to domesticate these animals. See what I did there? Otherwise, they become a danger to everyone else in that prison who may not be there that long or otherwise are serving a lighter sentence. I'm not even saying let's rehab them for life. I'm saying maybe at least try to give them a chance to see if they want to change themselves. Maybe run up like a 3-strike rule within the prison. If you don't at least try to become a decent person, then we fully give up on you. Like, for real, we just give up on you. And, put you in confinement, medically induced coma, or like some type of segregation from general population, or the sewer. I don't know. I really don't care. But I do know this. Since you don't care to want to change in yourself or want to make any type of progress, then I can also not care anymore. Now, aside from the lifers who don't want to change or have just accepted their fate, what about the ones that are there for less, heinous crimes? The ones who in a few years will be coming home, like I said earlier, the people who are there for like 5 to 10 years or 3 years. Because, you can't forget, not everybody in the prison went on a killing spree or is a serial rapist. The prison isn't just made up of Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. So yeah, let's put our attention on these particular humans. Their punishment was a result of them being a trash human. I get that. Oh, and before I continue, we're assuming it's a straightforward, not an outlier. I was wrongfully accused. I shouldn't be in here. I'm innocent. And so on and so on. I'm saying, like, you did it. You went to jail. Your sentence is 3 to 5 years. Your sentence is 5 to 10 years. Blah, blah, blah. Let's say he, she, they, them did a crime. And then the state said he, she, they, them's punishment is to take away your freedom and go to timeout for a couple of years, aka prison sentence. Prison is essentially the grown-ups timeout. You can't play with the rest of us, out in the regular world. You got to go to timeout. Then and only then can he, she, they, them leave timeout and then be released back into society. So then, what do we do with them in the meantime? I propose instead of focusing on the actual punishment of you get 5 years and then, go, how like in the cartoons it was like, here's your little ball and chain, strap your ankle, go get a pickaxe and start, breaking down that rock or something, or like some type of mineral or whatever. I'm not saying let's take away that hard labor either. You can definitely keep that hard labor, but also focus on the rehabilitative portion as well. So instead of focusing on the actual punishment of you get 5 years, you get 25 years, you get the death penalty, ha 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 ha, serves him right. I say that's over with, that's all she wrote, all she wrote, all she wrote. T.I. It doesn't end there. Put your energy and, your anger and emotional biases aside, like forever. I recognize that they did a bad thing. I recognize that they're there for X amount of years and they deserve it. Serves them right. But let's also recognize that humans can and will, or at least should change. Some do feel remorseful after the fact. Yes, I also get it. Yeah, but he still did the crime. She still did the crime. Okay, you ever did something that you were sorry for? We all did. So, not everybody in there is that callous and that cold forever. Not all, at least. And I shouldn't have to say not all, but whatever. If I leave it out, someone's going to cry about it. So, we can better redirect that same energy of, haha, you got what you deserved, instead of focus on, and instead, we should probably be focusing on the rehabilitation and the reacclimation back into society. Now, of course, some people are going to be remorseful by default. I'm not denying that either. And some have the ability to have that internal dialogue and seek change within themselves. And that's great. Genuinely, it is. But there are some humans where you may just have to put them in a program within the prison and or have to be monitored for a while and shown what their actions have caused and how others were actually indirectly affected in order for them to stop justifying their actions. You know, she cheated on me, and then therefore I killed her. And yeah, but you guys had a kid together, so now that kid has a dead parent and then another parent in jail. And then that girl that you killed also had a brother and a sister who are now grieving, or something outside of that person is affected. And it sucks. But maybe they can finally be remorseful. Maybe they can genuinely want to change. And maybe when they're released from prison and, you know, they can hopefully go on to have a better life. I don't know. Maybe we can call it a second chance. Crazy idea here. But seriously though, a program like school and therapy mixed together, that you can show the state that you are ready to be brought back into society once you're released. Some of you may argue, well, prisons and jails essentially already have these programs that are similar to what you're already describing. And guess what? They don't always help. Or that people can just cheat the system and then, you know, act like a decent human being and then get released and then still go on to continue committing crimes. And so, to hell with the program. Disqualified. And I agree. Period. And I also want you to agree that every person who's ever cheated on a worksheet, quiz, or test in elementary, middle school, high school, or college should also be disqualified from earning a diploma, since on a technicality, they also cheated the system. They should be stuck in school forever. Disqualified, right? People always cheat the system. It's politicians, it's celebrities, it's normal folks like me and you too. Most of us growing up felt like, you know, school was jail anyways. So let's do this. I'll take it a little step further. You fail school, or you become a dropout, aka committed a crime. Now you're in prison, aka can't get a decent job, and life becomes miserably hard for what feels like forever a long prison sentence. Then the prison has a program to help you become a better you and rehabilitate you and teach you some stuff along the way. So now you can join the rest of us in the normal workforce environment, aka the prison that I'm talking about is those GED programs or high school diploma equivalent programs. This can give you the access to the better job opportunity or a better life overall upon completion of said GED program or high school equivalent. How? Put it this way. Humans who have worked for that GED can still end up going to a college or to a trade school and go on to become nurse practitioners, automotive mechanics, and still can contribute to society. Also, I looked it up. Now, I'll probably put a little, picture in the video. I'm not sure yet. But sidebar, did you guys even know that mechanic license is only like 1 to 2 years? That's it. You don't need to prereqs like you would a nurse or anything like that. That's it. 1 to 2 years and boom, you got your mechanic license. Annual salary, I looked up in the state of Florida because that's where I'm at. It ranges from $39K and upwards for regular. Obviously, if you're well-known mechanic, you're obviously getting more than that. So $39K, you can somewhat decently live in an apartment or something like that. That's obviously not probably house, but that's a better way of living instead of convicted felon who still can't get a job, and that's it. Your life's over. So you can find a trade school, and I promise you all you need for the most part is be 18 years old, have a high school diploma and or GED. That's it. Qualified. I digress. So why not apply that same logic and motivation to the prison system for individuals who are already on their way out of prison? Better than just letting them rot in prison and be angry and, at life without any outlet and just festering with hate only to then reoffend once they're out because life is too hard. And no one in society seems to give a crap. Not just for a convicted person, but even for the college grads that come out and then they're trying to find a job and they can't because, yeah, you got your diploma, you got your degree or whatever, you got your bachelor's, you got your master's, but you don't have any experience. So essentially, they're treated almost as horribly as you. And it's not that they're treated that way, but it feels like, damn, this is hard as hell. What am I supposed to do? Who do I go? Where do I come? Ah! High school grads too. You didn't even go to college yet. You want to apply for like the Dairy Queen, the Publix, the pet store, but you can't because you don't even have. I mean, all you have is a high school diploma, no experience. So it's harder for you too. Especially if you have people out here who are like in their 20s and 30s already, who probably have great customer service. You just came out of high school. You don't even have that customer service built in you yet. I digress again. Prisons often include embezzlement, burglary, tax evasion, people who got multiple DUIs, where in this hypothetical, we're going to say people who had, let's say you had 3 DUIs, that's an automatic boom, you get a felony, you go to prison now because you clearly didn't learn your lesson the first 2 times. These DUIs, we're just going to say nobody was injured, but maybe they were just driving drunk on the highway, 3 a.m. in the morning. Nobody's on the road except them and the cop that stopped them. Nobody died. He's in prison or she's in prison and they're going to come out soon. Oh, also, perjury. Perjury can land you in prison. Perjury. Without going into detail of the little nuance of types of perjuries, I'm just going to umbrella term it real quick. Lying on a tax form is perjury. Lying on the stand in the middle of a trial is perjury. That means perjury equals lying. Lying? Yes. Lying. You can go to prison for lying. So let me make it clear. I'm going to give an actual detailed flow chart, if you want to call it that. I'm on trial. I lied, got caught, sent to prison, spent 5 years. Got out. No one wants to hire me. No one wants to approve me for an apartment or a townhouse. Because guess what? They do credit checks. So your credit score is probably not that high. And on top of that, there's a stain on my background check. Because I got for lying. Perjury. You know how like you get those? No, I'm not. Well, yeah, whatever. Those vets that come from overseas, or the vets who are just army guys come back and they're like, oh, there's no programs for us. Like, where do I go? What do I do? I don't know who to contact because there are probably programs out there, but nobody tells you about them. So what are you supposed to do as a convicted felon? Like you come out of jail, or you come out of prison, and then what? Nothing. So you got to think about it. In my mind, if I'm the prison dude, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't burglarize anybody. I recognize I was wrong, but I also paid my 5 years debt. I was in timeout for 5 years, and the state recognizes this, which is why I'm now here, free. Why can't I get hired? So let's not make it harder on these people. Trying to make a change for themselves. Like, why are we doing this? Let's focus less on the punishment itself. We can still give them the hard labor. We can still do the, 5 years. 5 years minimum or something, But let's not make the punishment the one all be all, Hitler's final solution, and end of the story, we rid our hands of you. Because the story is not done, at least for them. Maybe focus on forgiveness. Because it goes a long way, long way to have that forgiveness for somebody who paid their dues. They paid their, not even dues, paid their debt to society. They were in timeout. You came out of timeout. All right, now let's this is where we're at right now. This is the real world. You went inside before iPhones came out. Now you're out. Let's reacclimate you. This is how the world works now. This is how you treat people. This is how you should be moving. Help people. Especially help the ones, and I mean the ones who truly need that help and want to make that change or want to improve their life. Not everybody who's a bad guy cut and dry like in the cartoons. Think about like your anti-heroes. They're bad, but they do some good, and do some bad, and do some good. Some people are not just going to be 100% good all the time. So they will need that forgiveness when they come out of jail. Now let's go back to I just want to touch on, because I know people are probably going to ask me the details. Well, how are you going to do this program? Like I said earlier, we'll make it like a school. We'll make it like a therapy session. Give people something to, it's going to be weird at first. If you've been to therapy, you know exactly how weird it is at the beginning. You're like, this person doesn't even know me. Like, I don't want to talk about my feelings. I don't want to talk about my stuff. Like, you're just going to use it against me. I'm going to tell you that I have drunk parents. I'm going to tell you that I have a rapey uncle. I'm going to tell you, on my PTSD, you want me to tell you. No, I'm not telling you that. There's a reason why I'm going to take that stuff to the grave. You're going to use it against me. And you're going to be like, oh, this is the way you are. Yeah, I know that's why the way I am, you stupid idiot. Like, but if you're mature enough and you have the time and you don't even have to pay for it, that's free therapy. At least for you. Obviously, the state is going to have to pay for these programs. But if they're going to be a willing participant, if they're going to be willing to change or want to make a better living, or even if, like I said, those lifers, if I want to improve myself or I finally want to be at peace, then yeah, I'm going to need somebody to talk to. A therapist is a perfect person to talk to. One of. Maybe you could talk to your cellie. Who knows? But to have a design system to where we're not just like, you get 5 years, haha, you're done. That's probably way better. Because we can, it's almost like flipping people. Like, you want to change. You want to see change in yourself. You want to, like, if I'm a fat man and I'm going to jail, and if I'm going to the gym, it's because I want to make that change. I'm not just going to the gym to be a gym creep, although there are people like that. If I'm going to school, it's because I also want to make a change. Maybe in other people's lives because I want to be a doctor. Maybe in my own life because maybe money's the motivation. Maybe my PTSD is my parents were poor, and then I really got to hit the books. I don't want to live like them, paycheck to paycheck. I want to be well off. Yeah, I want my family to be well off. But you can't really get there if you don't go to school. The school is already there, outside. So let's put a school on the inside. For those who want it, want it. It doesn't even have to be mandatory. I would love if it was mandatory. Like maybe we tell them the first 3 years or the first year, hey, it's mandatory. And then, again, that'll be that 3-strike thing. If you miss, appointments or you don't want to go there or if we see that there's a trend of you not caring for this program, then cool. After that first year, it's not mandatory. You come as you will. If you end up, a year later on down the road, 6 months, 2 months, whatever, and you're like, all right, you know what? Let me give this a shot. Then cool. Our arms are open. Our doors are open. But yeah, I wouldn't make it mandatory now that I'm thinking about it. But I just want to have that program to actually help me if I'm in that situation. I want it to allow me to progress, to make myself better. I ain't got nothing to do anyways. I wake up, eat, maybe do some calisthenics, or maybe hit the weights. but I got time and I don't have to pay for this. Why would I not take advantage of that? Not everybody thinks like me, but of course, if I'm in that situation, it would help me a lot. And for the fact that you're talking to me like a human being and not like I'm an a-hole, you're giving me a little bit of, humanity back, and I can still keep my dignity, knowing that what I did wrong was wrong. I'm gonna be released soon, or maybe I'm not soon. Maybe I just got here. Maybe I feel the crap. I don't feel crappy because, how people say, you're only upset because you got caught. You're not really sorry. You're just sorry because you got caught. Okay. Maybe at the beginning I was sorry because I got caught. I was like, damn it. And then maybe after some time in that prison, I got to thinking, then I'm like, damn it, I went overboard. Or damn it, man, I shouldn't have perjury. Damn it, man, I shouldn't have been drinking, man. I really got to stop drinking. Maybe I should do the Alcoholics Anonymous within the jail. I'm the guy who did the multiple DUIs, and now I'm in prison because I'm an idiot. Why didn't I listen those first 2 times? Now third strike, boom, I'm in here. Maybe I need rehab. Maybe I need somebody to talk to. Maybe I can do Alcoholics Anonymous to get me off of the drinking, and then a therapist to help me uncover why I'm drinking in the first place. All that shit's gonna help, man. It's gonna help, but you gotta want it. And we gotta, as a society or as a state, have to say, let's maybe focus a little bit less on the punishment and focus more on, hey man, we know you did a bad thing. You know you did a bad thing. If you're up for it, I mean, we got this thing over here going on, this new program or this old program that, if you wanna come in and talk about it and maybe fix you or, look deep within, then we'll help you. Does it sound corny? Does it sound lame? Oh, my feelings? Yeah, it does. But it also does help. So do it. But we as a society got to stop focusing on, you deserve it. Serves you right. And honestly, if I'm already out of timeout, why make me feel like I'm still in timeout after all these years? Did that 5 years mean nothing? Didn't I already put the time in? So I should be debt free. Why do I feel like I'm still in debt, or I'm still getting bashed over the head with something I did a long time ago? That's a shitty way to be treating me. So maybe we can try some forgiveness, or show as a society that we forgive the person now because, I paid my dues. My debt. I keep saying dues. So, yeah, man, forgiveness. That'll lead us out from this video. And that'll probably lead us into the next video. Not necessarily forgiveness, but I got an idea.